Hey artists! Today we're going to talk about a famous artist named Piet Mondrian. Mondrian used the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, to create most of his paintings. This painting, even though this is just a laminated piece of paper, actually is about as big as you are. It's more than 4 feet tall and a little more and 4 feet wide. It's a square, so it's the same tall as it is wide. And this piece of modern art actually is about music. Sometimes artists paint the way that they feel, or they paint an action. And this one is about a piece of music called Boogie Woogie, and the title of it is called Broadway Boogie Woogie. Today we're going to do an inspired piece by Mondrian. You can choose a shape to go in the middle. It could be a heart, it could be a leaf, it could be whatever you want it to be. Or maybe you choose to use a ruler. Rulers are kind of tricky to use if you haven't had much practice with those. And use our primary colors, which are our most powerful colors because they can make virtually any other color. And if we were to paint and we added white to any color, we can make it lighter. And if we were to add black to any color, we could make it darker. So today's project is about Piet Mondrian and playing around with some fun shapes. Here we go. Hey artists, let's get started by drawing a shape in the middle of our paper. If a heart is tricky, you can take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and draw on the side that has the fold, not the open part, or it won't work. Take a pair of scissors. Cut on that line that you drew, and then open it at the end. Now you can trace around that shape. You could also trace around a lid if you wanted a circle, or use a ruler for a square. The shape is up to you. Then find something with a straight edge. I used a ruler, but it doesn't have to be a ruler. We will draw vertical lines that go straight up and down, as well as horizontal lines. Those are the ones that go side to side. Hold on to that ruler, don't let it slide on you. If you don't have a ruler, hey, Post-it notes or the edge of a notebook or something that's straight works just fine too. Draw quite a few lines. Then when you're ready, take a black marker or colored pencil or crayon and trace on those lines. It's really helpful to use that straight edge or ruler to get those lines nice and straight. Okay. If you're using a marker, make sure you put something down. Don't get it on the table at home. Mondrian used very thick, bold, black lines on his art. To do that, you can color in some of the teeny tiny little rectangles or simply outline your existing lines again. Some of them can be bold and some of them can be skinny. Then pick out the primary colors. Do you remember what they are? Yellow, red, and blue. So some of our squares and rectangles will be the primary colors, and some will stay black, and some will stay white. Try not to have any two colors touching right next to each other, and that will balance out your art a little bit better. Balance is where not all your colors are in one side, but they're spread out kind of evenly throughout your art. Markers are great because they look bold and juicy, but colored pencils or twistables or crayons work just fine. You can even mix and match if you wanted to. Don't forget to have a piece of paper underneath as you're working so you don't get art all over the table. Here's another way that you could do your Mondrian-inspired art. You could not trace a shape at all and just do a bunch of squares and rectangles with your ruler. Using a ruler really does take some practice, so don't get too frustrated if it doesn't go so hot the first time. You may want to practice on a piece of paper. It takes some skill holding it down and drawing. Feel free to color in that shape a solid color or just leave it white. It's beautiful either way.